hearing what they were saying, not just talking, but listening to what their challenges were. And then I set up a number of new initiatives that still remain today. So Shop LK was, I think, one of the very first voucher schemes in the country that launched way back in like 2004 in Letterkenny, and now brings in millions to the local economy. Lots of lobbying. So that was my first foray in business, if you like. And I think from that experience of being CEO and then going off to Chambers Ireland, I felt that business was something that I wanted to do. And then in 2007, I bit the bullet and went into business, and then the recession happened. But hey, we all went through that. But 2009, I began to see that digital and social media was becoming really, really important. And I integrated that into everything that I've done. And then Digital Training Institute was born in 2013. And I've been running that ever since. And what you see behind me, Public Sector Marketing Institute, is an offshoot of that. And what I'll talk about today is about niching down to scale up. So I combine my storytelling skills, my joy and wonder of meeting other human beings, and then my own, I guess, resilience and tenacity to be in business and to keep going when things get tough.
Oh, so what is the why now? What's your why now? Is it really just about helping other people communicate better, or what do you see as your why or your purpose?
So my why is definitely elevating the standard of digital communications, whether in business or in government and public sector. I have that skill set that I learned as a journalist in terms of communicating, but I also invested in understanding the digital landscape and being an early adopter from a very, very early stage in it. I can shortcut people to success. I can, and that's not taking corners, that's not cutting corners, that is teaching them what they need to know. I also believe in insourcing your story, not outsourcing it to agencies. And I have nothing against an agency because I used to be an agency. But what I do is I empower people to tell their own story that then engages an audience that you can sell to. There is no recession on the internet. And by being an entrepreneur and a self-employed person with a very, very small team, I know what it takes to work online. And so I combine my experience with my love of teaching and empowering people.
So when you say empower people, what does that involve? Tell us a little bit about that.
So as an example, I literally just came off a call with a potential client in the last hour, and they're struggling with digital marketing. They are in the financial sector, and they're doing a bit of social. They have their website. They have TV screens in their office, but they don't really have a strategy. So the outcome of that conversation was, I will write your strategy for you, keep it really simple. I will then develop a training plan, and I will teach your team how to implement that strategy and how to get results from digital. So I insource the knowledge, the skills, and empower those businesses to be their own digital marketing agency.
Great. So empowerment is so important. Like we're in the middle of a lockdown now, and there's a lot of negative media out there at the moment. And I also know through the Entrepreneurs Academy that there's, thousands of people, but I think even up to 700 people in the Wicklow area or the Kildare area who have launched new websites over the last 12 months. So, what's important for them, and how can they empower themselves to take the next step for their business?
So the first thing is, a website is absolutely critical for your digital marketing success. You own that website. You have a branded domain name, a www domain name that you own that has a commercial value on it, but it also has a brand value on it. When we're operating on the social networks, we're kind of renting land there. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram can change its algorithm at any stage, and then you're at the mercy. So you need to build your digital business and bring even a traditional business online by having your own website. Correctly, you stated, what's the next steps? The next step is funneling traffic to the website, relevant traffic. And one of the tips that I will give you today is that when you make sales online, whether it's a service-based business, a product-based business, or any other type of business, because I believe you can have any business online, is that you need to be able to qualify the visitor to your website. There's no point in getting 10,000 hits to your website a month and 9,000 of them being completely irrelevant. So you need to qualify the traffic to your website before they hit it. How do you do that? It's the story that you tell online. So you start to build your tribe by using social media. You start having a conversation. It's never been easier to have one-to-many conversations right now. The algorithms are giving you a boost by going live. Going live is terrifying. And I know Nicola and I have one planned, and now it's the 1st of February and we still haven't done it. But going live is the one way to show know, like, and trust. Know, like, and trust are now the 3 ingredients that we need to have to do business online. The smartest, the most cost effective, it's free, it's a way to do it, is to go live. Go live consistently. Can you go live once a week at the same time on the same day? Remember when I used to read the news and I had the power to decide whether a press release got on the news or it was in the bin, right? I had that power. The media still exists. We need a strong independent media, but we now have the opportunity to go directly to the customer and have that conversation. And social will bring that tribe to you if you show up. So by creating a content feature, like a show, a live stream every Friday at 11, people will begin to expect you and they'll tune in, and then you will become the go-to person. Something as simple as that. And get over the fear of it. And you know, I can teach you, you know, you can learn how to do a live stream. I mean, press the go live button on Instagram and off you go. So that, and then thinking out what your stories are. The stories must engage with the tribe that you're trying to attract. Think about relevance and resonance. Okay. Yes, you want the story to be about you, but actually it has to be about them. Okay. So when Nicola and I have our live stream, Nicola's going to talk about where was I, what was the decision that made me come to her. She's going to talk about all the time in lockdown, the fact that I was on the screen 10 hours a day. That was new. The fact that I was getting headaches and my eyes were sore. Yes, I needed a new prescription, but then she introduced the concept of the blue lens that would protect me. So while the story is about me, it's indirectly about her and her business. And that's what you do. That tribe then comes to your website. So I trade for Google, and this one line I absolutely love, and I'm going to say it twice. It's so powerful. I'm going to say it twice. When somebody comes to your website, not social, when they see you on social and then they go to your website, that is called an intent-rich moment where preferences are shaped and decisions are made. A website visitor, so I'll say it again, is an intent-rich moment where preferences are shaped and decisions are made. So when I looked at Nicola's range on her Instagram, and then I clicked on her link to go to her website, I was like, I had an intention right there. And I made the decision, and then I messaged her and I said, how can I come and get my glasses from you? And those are called micro moments of 1 minute and 16 seconds. And we have 200 of those a day. And that is the data from Google, who's got 2 billion people logged into any of their 7 assets at any one time.
So that's powerful. And I think it's really important to remember that. But let's say we build a tribe and we're drawing people to the website, and they're not taking those decisions we want them to take. You know, where do we start to backtrack and reevaluate and to get that message out there, or to understand? But sometimes we don't always understand the message we need to be communicating to the customer or to the tribe person. So how do we do that?
So when you have a website and you have social and maybe you have an email list, what you need to develop is called the digital marketing funnel. The funnel is essentially the journey that your ideal customer is going to take. So I'm going to stick with Nicola's example for this one. And Nicola is attracting an audience. In my case, it was a female who was interested in their glasses, not only for so that I can see, but also as a fashion statement, because it's such a big investment. So she knows that her range suits that type of person. So the funnel that Nicola would develop, for example, is number one is social and search. At the top of the funnel, we've got social and search. Social and search bring you an audience. So they bring you everyone. They bring you the mass audience. So she's got her Facebook page or Instagram account. She also has her website that is visible on Google. Okay. So that's the mass marketing piece. When Nicola gets my attention, the next stage of the funnel is a landing page. So she needed to bring me to a particular landing page that spoke about the blue lens. Okay. So then I began to inform myself about that. The next stage of the funnel to take me down, to turn me from a website visitor that is anonymized. So I was anonymous on her website, right? Because I just clicked, you don't know who I am. She needs to turn me from an anonymous visitor into a potential customer. So I need to show who I am. How she does that is she says we can have a free consultation. So I fill in her little form, give her my name, give her my email address, and I sign up for her free consultation. Then she's got me. She knows who I am. Then she's got me a lead. Then it's her opportunity to convert me on that consultation. And then I make the appointment. And then she's got me also in her email list. So even if I don't buy from the consultation, she's got me in the email list. An email is the closest place to the sale of the funnel. If social and search is at the top, where we spend a lot of time on social, email is at the bottom of the funnel and it's next to the sale. Now, what I am to Nicola is I am a customer, and I'm more than a customer. And Google says this, most people forget about the last stage of the funnel. Everybody thinks that the last stage of the funnel is the sale. The last stage of the funnel is advocacy. I know when Nicola and I do our live, and we must put a date in the diary, Nicola, DM me after this. I now am becoming an advocate for Nicola because I want to, because I had such a positive experience. My daughter Sophie came with me, so she had double sales on that day. Sophie's 25. Sophie got glasses as well. And when Sophie was in, this is a true story, when Sophie was in getting her eye test on, Bobby and I were out looking at the glasses, and I was laughing and I was opening all the drawers, and she came out and she goes, oh, Sophie's like, oh my God, mum has all the glasses out. You're so embarrassing. And I said, this is the most fun that I have had since March. I had such an amazing experience. It was a total day out, but I was, it was so, I had such a good experience that I want to share it. And I said, we must do a live, you know what I mean? You need to do live streams, and, this is where your audience is. They're on Instagram. And advocacy is after the sale. You need to turn the people who buy from you into advocates, and then they spread the word on their social. So the website, what you need now is a funnel. Map the customer journey. This is what I teach to Google clients who are like the CEO of the biggest brands in the world, from beauty to finance to car. The funnel and the customer journey is a simple tactic that will help you understand their pain points and bring them from awareness, engagement to conversion to advocacy.
Brilliant. I think it is important that we always remember that while we might be online, there's still another human at the other end of that. And sales is human to human, isn't it? And word of mouth still exists, be it online or offline. I suppose I'm interested on your take, Joanne, that we've talked about a product there. I'm sure there's business on here today who are services, and we read a lot nowadays about productizing our services. So could you maybe expand on that a little bit further, give us a bit of insight into that space?
Yeah, I can, and happily take questions. If anybody's in a service business and you want some insight, let me know at the end. I'm a service-based business, so I am that example. I sell training, I sell consulting. And if you're in a service-based business, you're probably doing the same thing. So what I did a number of years ago was I did what you just said. I productized my knowledge. I turned what I know into a knowledge product that I could sell online. So you can now take, a diploma in social media online from me, a diploma in digital marketing online from me. You can join my membership academy where you pay a subscription and you can get 4.5 hours of live training every month. knowledge is a valuable commodity. Now, Nicola has her products and her glasses, but she also has her knowledge. You do not underestimate the power of knowledge right now. And that is a growth business. And you can turn any service-based business into a knowledge product. COVID has given us some weird gifts, if I can describe it like that. People have now transferred their behavior to the online world. Online is normal to them. They now don't have the fear that they did. They're happy to do a consultation. If you're a service-based business, you now have more time, right? Because you're not traveling, as I was traveling around Europe. I mean, there's only so much money I could make because I was on planes, trains, and automobiles, right? COVID is that weird gift where I can stay here and I have more time. The other thing is that you can scale the knowledge to a larger group of people. So if you're doing one-to-one, why don't do one-to-many? Why not teach 12 people instead of one? Because guess what? The community feel, the shared experience is far more richer, and people like to network. And even though in my sector, we've been doing all of this kind of productizing for years and years, I believe now it's becoming mainstream. And also, you are breaking the borders. You're breaking those geographic borders to say, I sell, like Nicola sells glasses to people in Kildare. No, she doesn't. She sells glasses to people across Ireland. And why can't you, Nicola, because your range is so amazing, actually sell glasses to people all over the world, even if they buy your frames, but they get their optician locally to do the prescription. There is no recession on the internet. I have a lady, Lisa, who's in Auckland, New Zealand, who works in digital diplomacy over there. And she found me from Google, but then she joined my list. She was on my list from 18 months before she bought, and then she bought my course. And she said it was the best investment she had made because she was looking for something like that. So you really have to think about no recession on the internet. You really have to think about that your knowledge is power. Influencers, YouTubers who are making money from YouTube, what are their YouTube videos about? It's knowledge. They're selling their knowledge. Knowledge is a commodity that you now can turn into a product that you can sell online. And there's a tribe out there. Social and search will find you your audience base.
Wow. And in terms of SEO and to keep that audience coming back to you, how important is it to have all your different social and your YouTube and your website and keeping your up? What sort of things do we need to be doing week in and week out to keep that live?
So this is where the overwhelm comes in, right? And everybody's excited now and they're enthused by what I'm saying, but they're going, I don't have the time, or I don't know how to do it. So I've created what I call the repurposing method, and I will tell you my secret. And this is what I do. If you go to my YouTube channel, if you just look at even the public sector marketing show YouTube channel, you will see like 70 videos on that. They were done here, right? And I have a couple of backdrops. I've got a red brick one, and I use this phone. And I have a tripod. I've got a tall tripod that's here. Okay, so there's my tall tripod. And I have this phone. And what I do is I record a 5 or 6 minute vlog video, a video blog. I think about a topic that I want to talk about. So for example, one of my most recent ones is again aimed at government and public sector. It was how to conduct a social media audit, right? And I actually have my 8 topics for the month of February already written down because I do 2 a week. So I start my step 1, write down your topics that add value to your ideal audience. Give them something of value that they are going to learn in 6 minutes. So I get the topic, I write it down on my notebook with my pen and paper, and I write down 3 things that I want to tell them in that video. I don't even script it because I say, Joanne, you know, you're a subject matter expert in what you know. You don't need a script. Same as Nicola. Nicola doesn't need to write a script about what she needs to tell me about the blue lens, but she needs to get 3 messages across. I put my phone on my tripod. I stand back and I hit record on my iPhone. Okay. And I look into the line of the camera and I talk, and I just talk to the end. And then what I do is I get my phone and I I clip the video. I top and tail it with my finger on my phone. I upload it to YouTube. It's the very first thing that I do. And I put the title and the description and the tags. The second thing that I do is I transcribe my 6-minute video. I use a piece of software called rev.com. And that cost me €6. Cost me €6 to get my video word for word. We talk at 3 words per second. Somebody help me out with the mental maths here. 180 by 6 is, come on, 180 by 6, is it 960? I don't know, right? I now have an epic blog post on my hands. A 1,000-word article is known as an epic blog post. I'm now serving search. I've got my blog post that's called How to Conduct a Social Media Audit. I've got my video on YouTube, How to Conduct a Social Media Audit. 1080, thanks, Stephen. And I embed that YouTube video into my blog. Google is the biggest search engine in the world. YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world. Embedding my video into my blog post will give me 75% higher traffic conversion just by doing that. Step 1. Step 2, I then use snippets of my transcript for my social media content. Yeah. Step 3, I then clip a video, 40 seconds, and it's called an epic video. And then I have about 3 of those from each video and I put them on social. And that's what I do. Search and social is served in that moment. And then for my email list, my email goes out on a Tuesday. I go, in case you missed it, here's the videos of the week. Value, value, value. People, you're getting them on your list. They're listening to you. They love you. They will buy, guys, when the time is ready for them. We're always ready to sell, but people will buy when it's ready for them. So what you're doing with that repurposing method is you're filling your pipeline. You're filling your pipeline. What I don't do enough of is I don't do enough lives. But this Wednesday, my debut show goes live. I'm introducing a new social media show. So it's called the Public Sector Marketing Show. And it will be on Wednesdays at 11 on YouTube and Facebook. And I am repurposing the hell out of that as well. Say it once, share it often. And that's the secret. People go into social and go, Jesus, I have to post like 2 times a day on every social network. I'm overwhelmed. Stop. Take a step back, get a notebook, and even go to do a focus group and get your ideal customer on a call and give them something free. Say, I'll give you a free consultation, but I need a half an hour of your time. Tell me what I can teach you for free. I can teach people things for free in 6 minutes, but what are they thinking? Going, well, she knows what she's talking about. I like her. I think I'd like to learn from her. I'd like to join her course. Okay. You're not giving away everything. You're telling them the what, a bit of the how, but you don't tell them everything. And that is the most powerful way. It's video. And even don't even pre-record it. Go live. When you go live, you get the recording. You can save your Facebook Live to Facebook Watch. You can save your Instagram Live to IGTV. You can even save your Instagram Live to IGTV and then share it to Facebook Watch. And that, my friends, is if it's a pre-record, it's 6 minutes off your time. If it's a live, it might be 15 minutes off your time. And so you can't say, I don't have time. People are doing it wrong.
People are doing it wrong. And so if we set up our weekly videos and we're uploading them to the YouTube and doing all this, how important is it to do it weekly? If I don't have the time, is there a timeline that is like a no-no for digital? Is a month too long, or how often do we need to keep these people engaged with our business?
Well, my answer to that is another question. Like, how much of a tribe do you want to build and how fast? If you do it once a month, it's going to be slower. If you do it once a week, it's going to be quicker. So, there's an element of taking personal responsibility here. I can, what is it? I can take a horse to the water, but I can't make them drink. When you commit, and listen, I'm reading James Clear's book at the moment called Atomic Habits. And one of the things he said really resonated with me, and I sent it out on my email 2 weeks ago, and he said, we can all have goals, right? But without a process, we will never achieve our goals. And I went, oh my God, this is so true. This is what I've been teaching. I teach people processes, essentially, if I'm really honest, because it's the process that is usually the obstacle to achieving the goal. And then secondly, the commitment. The process will help is your roadmap to how to do it. But if you're not committed, nobody else can do it for you. So, and you ask any influencer online who's built up like 100,000 followers, and they don't have to be a TV brand. And their answer every time, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, any social network, the one consistent tactic that they have used is showing up consistently. And that's not rocket science. That is commitment and persevering. And this is the long game. I know that my weekly show, and I've committed to it, 52 shows for a full year. I know that is going to convert for me, because the government and public sector audience are very discerning, and they will call me or email me directly and they'll say, can we talk? And when somebody does that, it's like, Nicola, when I came into your inbox, my decision was already made. The closing the sale is, what's your availability and how much do you cost? That's the only two conversations that you will have when somebody comes into your inbox at that stage, because they've watched you and they like you. And one of my friends just sent me a voice note on Instagram yesterday, and she goes, oh, Joanne, you were so right. And she's a life coach, and she's transitioned, and she left her full-time job just at the start of COVID. And she said, you said to me, keep showing up. And you said, people are watching. They might not hit the like button on your videos, but people are watching you. And she said she got a woman from a local Leo and said, I'd love you to design a course for parents of children with autism. I really love your style. I really love your message. And she said she couldn't believe it, but then it resonated with her. People are watching, but you have to show up. And if you're nervous and you're afraid of what you look like or afraid of what you sound like, don't think about that. Think about the person that you're helping. Think about that one person. When I worked in radio, they taught me to think about one person. So listen, I used to think about my mother, listening to the radio. And now I think about one person. And the one person that I think about is Marisa Ryan, who's the head of social in the HSE. And when I'm doing my videos and my podcasts, I think of Marisa. And that's the one person that I think about. So choose one person. Maybe Nicola, you can think about me when you're doing your lives. Think about one person who's your ideal audience and think about you're talking to them.
Wow. So if we want to influence people, we need to know what already influences them. And so yes. It sounds like to me, we don't need to sell to them then. We just want to show them that they need to buy what we have to offer because it's solving their need or their problem, which is a fantastic way to look at it. There's a couple of questions coming in, Joanne. So I'll just kick off with a nice easy one for you. It's about Victor, who wants to record videos. A little bit concerned about the quality, and he wants to know, is it important to have a 4K camera or not?
No, not at all. Do not wait for the equipment. Get your phone out, get a tripod. The most important thing with your video is that it's still, so you don't have shaky hand, and sound. But if you're in a quiet room and you have no background noise, and even putting in your earphones or your AirPods, that will knock out background sound. If you want to do video outside, buy a €20 lapel mic. Okay, I can do a follow-up and send some links afterwards if you want. A lapel mic will clip on here and you plug it into your phone. You just need to make sure that you get one that has the right connection for Android or iPhone. Your phone, there's 250,000 patents in this device. You do not need a 4K camera. Use your phone.
Fantastic. I see one here from Glenn as well. So they're a building company, and they specialize in a number of different areas in the Meath Kildare area. And I suppose it's the process of their works, the snippets, the start to the finish of the process, but they're not sure the best way that's going to make them look as professional as they can. So maybe could you give a little bit of insight? It'll be useful for all of us. I think you've covered it, but let's kind of narrow it in a little bit more.
Yeah, this will apply to anyone in any type of business. Chart the story from the beginning to the end. You know, the building process. Educate people on what the process is. Every builder might do the same, but we all have our unique offering. Every digital marketer will tell you the same, but we all do it in a different way. Start documenting the process. One really smart way for builders to storytell is to use the time-lapse option on your phone. So a time-lapse, so you leave a phone up on a tripod on a site, and maybe you just leave it there running for maybe an hour or 2 hours, and you see all the guys working. So from a 2-hour time-lapse, you probably get like a 1-minute video It's almost like them working in speed. And then get your pen and paper again and start writing down in bullet points every stage of the build process. And every bullet point that you write down is a video. So do a piece to camera. Don't only show them in terms of like digging, but get a person from your company to go front of screen and to explain it, and keep it really, really simple. And then do Q&A. I love Q&A because guess what? Q&A gets me inside of the mind of my ideal customer. So video, show in terms of photo and video, but do Q&A and write your topics of the process from A to Z and make each one of those steps a video.
Wow, brilliant. I think Julie was asking about number 2 of your plan. I'm not sure, maybe if you want to unmute yourself, Julie, and just maybe expand on that question, if you could.
Yeah, hi. They were just the plan that she was going through, what she writes down and then uploads it and then clips her video to 40 seconds on social media. She was flying through it. I just missed the second part of it. And then her email list.
Sorry, Julie, and no problem. So I shoot the video, I upload it to YouTube, fill in the title, the descriptions, tags. I send the transcription to Rev. So I turn that video into words, okay? Because what does Google want? A blog post. Google indexes content by words, by images, by video. So rev.com is a transcription tool. And it's really accurate, and it's worth a few bob. It's done by using artificial intelligence, but also humans, and you'll get it back within an hour. And then I copy and paste it, put that into my blog, and add subheadings and titles and all of that, and then embed. So by 2 clicks, you can embed a YouTube video into a website landing page, depending what type of website you have, but most modern websites will do it. And then people can read. Some people like to read and some people like to watch or to listen. So I think that's the step that you missed, was it? The transcription? Did that answer your question, Julie? You're on mute.
You just need to unmute yourself.
Oh, sorry. So yeah, super. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Fantastic. Thanks, Julie. I say an interesting comment. We're going to pick on Nicola again here because she's responding to Margaret's comment of well done, and her comment is seriously blushing here. And I think imposter syndrome is a big one for a lot of us who go online, that, you know, really, should I be here? Should I be selling it? Should I have other people shouting about my brand and my product and my service? How do we get over ourselves to deal with that?
Do you know what? Please, I've had it bad. I have it less bad, but it still creeps in. Please save yourself years of torture and do it. Taking action is the one thing that will dissipate all your imposter syndrome, because you've silenced the voice. And if you want to start and do it with somebody else, because, you know, I said to Nicola, oh, Nicola, you need to do lives. And then I said, well, I'll do the first one with you. Get a friend or somebody that you know in business, a client who you know kind of really well, to do the first one with you. And you've got to take action. Action is the only way to get rid of the imposter syndrome. And please, coming from somebody who had it, I created my first online product 6 years ago, and I didn't sell one. Why not? And it was the best e-learning program ever, because I had imposter syndrome. Don't be that person. Do not waste your time. There are customers out there that want to work with you. So get out of your own way and take action.
You know, good old Albert Ellis, feel the fear and do it anyway, as he said.
Yeah.
And experience. Nicola, I think you should be amazingly proud and not embarrassed in the least. You're after getting an amazing shout out this morning and an amazing recommendation. And I think the world is your oyster now.
I really wasn't expecting this.
I came into my mind when I saw you on the screen.
Well, the way I would look at it, Nicola, is how much would it cost you to pay for an advert to get in front of this large number of people and onto a recording that will be shared on the Leo Kildare. So I think it's amazing. So I would look at the positive from it. Yeah. Always take the positives. Joanne, we're getting close to the end.
Can I just say that Joanne is just a pleasure to work with, whether it's me doing business with her, or like I haven't done any business with Joanne. I literally met her on the masterclass a couple of years ago, and we've just forwarded and back to, if she's had a query or if I've had a query, we've just bounced off each other, and yeah, that's where we are now. So I'm delighted, but she's a pleasure, and Sophie, her daughter, was lovely as well. So yeah, thanks a million.
Thank you. You're welcome.
And isn't that what entrepreneurship is about? You know, we're all on the same journey. We should be networking, supporting one another. Joanne, we're getting close to the end of the time for this morning's session, and I see another question here from Deirdre. They are an e-learning company, and they want to know really what are the best social channels. At the moment, they appear to be posting on LinkedIn. What other areas should they be considering for that business?
So Deirdre, we're in the same space, right? We're in exactly the same space. Can I ask a follow-up question? What's the courses? Who's the audience?
Hi, Joanne. Yeah, we do a mix. We do customized courses. So we would work with the client. The client would have a requirement to develop some training, and then we work with them to develop it. Now, I suppose one part of the business around the training side, it's very specialist on SAP training. So that's kind of a particular area of expertise. And I guess over the last year, we focused on LinkedIn and trying to develop our presence there. We do have a website, but we're looking to redevelop that because at the moment it's a fairly basic one. And it's just, we're very conscious of making ourselves a little bit more visible. And it's just your conversation this morning around video and, using YouTube and Facebook and other channels. And I guess given that we're very focused on a kind of a corporate market, would you still see value in becoming active, let's say on Facebook or somewhere else?
So from my perspective, where I get most of my business, Deirdre, is LinkedIn. The B2B LinkedIn is where I hang out all the time. And like, if you follow me on LinkedIn, you'll go, does she only work with public?
I plan to.
I'm being very deliberate, because I know my audience is there. LinkedIn has the biggest business database in the world. You don't even need a paid for subscription. I go in and I search for marketing in government, and then I hit Ireland, and then I hit UK. I find every single marketing officer, every government department in Ireland or in the UK for absolutely free. And then I connect with them. So I teach a method of outreach on LinkedIn. I go in, I send a personal note. I find the person whose job description and organization matches my ideal avatar, my ideal customer. And then I go in and I send a personal note, because you can connect with somebody on LinkedIn without sending a personal note. But on desktop is the only place you can add a note. And I add a note and I offer value. I go, hey, Deirdre, discovered you on LinkedIn. I host the public sector marketing show. I'm always looking for guests. If you'd like to be a guest in the show, make sure you get in touch. So I'm thinking about them. Number one, she's going to be curious, right? Number two, she's probably going to respond to the connection. And number three, she's probably going to subscribe then to the show. So imagine if all of you guys did that for your Instagram lives, your Facebook lives. B2B, definitely LinkedIn. If you've got a local audience, maybe the businesses are there on Facebook, and then showcase the case study, showcase what you've done for other clients on LinkedIn, and that'll work well.
Cool. Thanks for that.
Thanks for that, Sean.
Okay, so we're getting close to the end now. I think a couple of things I want to point out, Joanne, just that the local enterprise offices in Kildare and all your local enterprise offices around the country are amazing supports and run courses and mentorship and so forth. So you've got to be checking those out on a regular basis. But I see that Rachel has also posted that they have partnered in Kildare with Google and are running and hosting the Google Digital Garage. And the next one is on the 4th of February, and the link is in the chat there. So we should check that out. And I'm sure there'll be many more things to come. And I think they've invested in you, and they continue to invest in you. And for any of you who've availed of the Trade and Align voucher, that's a big investment. And we all have a responsibility. I got mine late last year, and we all have a responsibility to move this forward and bring back all that return on that investment from them. So Joanne, you've covered a lot this morning, and there's a lot after coming at it, and I know we can all look back at the recording, but we hang up this morning. What's next? What should we start with first?
Great question. And I'm going to use the opportunity to answer Sean's question by giving you that answer, because I don't want him to not get his question answered. And what I would say is the next things that you need to do is you need to get your notes, you get your pen and paper, and you need to write down what is the value that you can give to your ideal customer. And what I mean by value is what are their pain points, or what is their hopes or their aspirations. So you ask yourself those 3 questions, and within that you'll get the answer, and you make a list of them. The next thing that you do is you decide what is the where online am I going to find them? Is it Facebook, Instagram, or is it LinkedIn, for example? Thirdly, what type of content am I going to create? And I would appeal to you to do a live or even pre-recorded video in the first instance. Then you need to get them to your website. And this is Sean's question. You need to have a funnel. You need to have what we call a lead magnet. You need to have an opportunity for somebody to get something free from you. Is it a free trial of the software? Is it a free 30-minute consultation? Is it a free ebook where you get a checklist of how to do a digital marketing funnel, for example, from me? Or is it a free trial? Or is it a discount? You drive people to the website to get the value bomb. And at that stage, you get their email address. So ask yourself, who's my ideal client? What topics are I going to talk to them about for free? What is my lead magnet? What's my freebie to get the email address on their website? And what social channels am I going to find them? That with a pen and paper. I swear the pen and paper is brilliant to get clarity and to write that down. And I then stick them up on my board, and I write every day and just think and think and think. And maybe try and get a focus group. If you don't know the answer, get 10 of your ideal customer on a call, find them. Go to Facebook or go to LinkedIn and go, I'm looking for 10 people who match this type of person. Would really love you to give me 30 minutes of your time. And then maybe you'll give them something for free afterwards, or just a thank you. Send them a box of chocolates, or I don't know, a box of tea bags and a packet of biscuits or whatever. And just do that with a pen and paper. And I tell you, you'll always figure out the how. Don't let the how to stop you, because you'll always figure that out. And you can go to your Leo and say, listen, I'm struggling. Can you help? Somebody will teach you the how to.
Well, Joanne, that's amazing advice. I really thank you for this morning. Your energy is just infectious. I'm so motivated to get off this call and get my Post-its out and start doing my plan and reinvigorated. Thank you for joining us this morning. Thank you to the Local Enterprise Office in Kildare for running the coffee break sessions and series. It is a wonderful initiative, and it's a huge benefit to us all. So everybody, thank you for joining us this morning. It was really great to see you, and we hope to see you all soon. Goodbye.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thanks a million, Joanne.